back to another video. So in this video we are going to discuss about the AMP and the Cisco umbrella. Now both of them requires the registration to the cloud using the APIs. So you need to have a subscription in order to configure it. Now if you go back to the security policy within that configurations and security, over here you will see that threat grid API. So this will be used for the AMP as well as I think this will be used for the AMP. So you will select whether it is your Europe or the NAM, which cloud it is, North America or the Europe, and you will just click on edit and enter the key. Similarly for the Cisco umbrella also registration, when you click on that one, it should now ask you for the organization ID, registration key and the secret key, and after that registration token. So when you provide these all details, it will automatically integrate with your cloud subscription. So since I don't have anything, but still I will go ahead and show you how things will be configured. So we have already seen how to configure the integrate with the thread grid, which is pretty easy. We just need to get those keys from your cloud subscription. So let's go ahead and edit. So I will create one intrusion policy first. So I will say that target VPN will be number 10. It will be balanced. This one will be protection, and in the advanced we will say critical. So I will say IPS policy, and that should be good. Now let's move forward to the advanced malware. So advanced malware, what is the advanced malware protection AMP? So this is now a cloud-based endpoint protection. So whenever there is a device, then on that device there will be a small application which is known as a AMP. That application will be installed and that will be communicating with your AMP cloud, and this is where on the AMP cloud you will be creating your policies. So what it's going to do is that it's going to inspect, or it's going to check for the viruses, it's going to check for the malware within the files. So it's going to check what kind of files you are downloading, what kind of files you are uploading or checking online and everything. So you make sure that there are no viruses or malwares on it. So it's going to inspect that one. So you will be creating your policies on the AMP, but whenever you're configuring on your edge device, that it will integrate with the cloud, the edge device, in case our Viptela, that will integrate with the AMP cloud. So once we have integrated with the API, so it will make API calls to check certain parameters. So whenever the traffic is going from VPN 10 to the internet, so this is where it will go to the edge device, and edge device there is a policy, advanced malware policy created. So it will make sure that that will be forwarded to the AMP, or if it is forwarded to the ISP, you are downloading a file and it will make sure that copy of the file will be sent to the AMP to make sure there are no viruses or the malware in the file. Alright, so that's what it's going to do. So let's go ahead and create the policy saying that advanced malware policy, that I will say that I am AMP policy. So you see that match all VPNs or custom VPNs configuration, it's up to you. So click on target VPN, I will say select 10. It is for custom. If you want to match it for all VPNs, you can select this option. Now file reputation on which cloud? So I'm in Australia, so I will select this one, but according to my topology, this is being hosted on Europe, so I will select Europe. Alerts log level, definitely it will be critical. File analysis, you want to do the analysis, like select the first cloud region because it will connect to your nearest cloud. You see that manage API keys are not configured. Next, you will select your files. I will select all because I want to inspect each and every file, whether it might be exe, FLV, PDF, anything. Log level will be critical because if anything is been detected, definitely there will be a virus. That's it. Now you see that thread grid API is not configured. Please register it. So that's why we are not able to create. But this is what the information you will be providing. Once this information is provided, everything will be taken care by the edge device. You don't have to worry about it. Next, coming to the DNS security now, same thing, create a new, and here also the same thing, VPN is all. If I want to select any custom, you will go ahead and say that I want to set it for 10 only. Cisco umbrella default DNS, locality domain bypass, save it. Now here this is where you will create your own domain list to pass it, like for your own organization. My organization is accessible.com.eu, so I will create a domain and I will pass it, bypass that with this policy. Click on advanced, you will see that the DNS scripting. So what happens with the Cisco DNS is that whenever the edge device or the end user is trying to communicate with the internet, there is an edge device in between. So it's going to redirect that DNS queries to the Cisco umbrella cloud, and this connection will be encrypted. So if you this option is on, the DNS queries will be encrypted. If you off, then it will not be encrypted. So you make sure that keep it encrypted always. Alright, so once the query has been reached to the Cisco umbrella, it will analyze whether the DNS query is valid or not, or it is suspicious or something. If it is suspicious, it will do further investigation and it will give a response. If it is flagged as a risky one, definitely what it's going to do is that it's going to respond it with the IP address, which is going to communicate with the Cisco umbrella cloud itself. So it will just like an redirect URL and it will open a website for you. That's it. Instead of opening, for example, you see that the end user is trying to communicate with open a web page called as a youtube.com. The DNS queries will be sent to the umbrella. For example, the youtube.com has been flagged as risky. Instead of going to the YouTube, now it will send a different IP which will be forwarded to the user, and that user, when it opens, it will say that particular website which is been provided by the Cisco umbrella. So you're not actually going to the YouTube, you're just accessing the Cisco umbrella in a, what do we say, safe environment. Okay, so that's all with the Cisco advanced malware protection and DNS. Now coming with the SSL description, yes, you can do the SSL description until unless you understand how things work. So with the edge device, this is connected your end user LAN device. When it's trying to communicate with the internet, the traffic comes to the edge, it is going to decrypt it, and after that it's going to encrypt it, and after that it's going to be forwarded. Here you need to understand the concept called as a trust. Now, for example, what I'm going to do is that you take a certificate authority that is known as accessible.com.eu. This is my certificate authority. Now, this certificate authority is not trusted on the internet. So what is going to happen is that whenever the traffic is being sent to edge device, using the certificate authority accessible.com, it is going to decrypt it, and it will check the traffic and it will encrypt it using this certificate. Whenever it goes to the internet, the website will open the page, but you will have that what do we say, like a not secure. You see that over here on the top. So let me change the color to make sure that you are seeing it. So on the top you see that not secure. So this is what it will show up on your website over here. It is not secure. So that means your certificate is being not trusted on the internet. So that's why you will see those alerts or the error. Okay. So now instead of having your own enterprise, for example, you see that cisco.com certificate authority. Now cisco.com, that is being trusted on the internet. So the traffic comes in, it will be decrypted and it will encrypt. This time it will use the cisco.com that is valid, so you will not get this error now, because that is a valid certificate authority which is been accepted or trusted by everyone over the internet. So that's why you don't see that kind of error. Now with the SD-WAN, you do have two things. One is that you use your own certificate authority, or you want your vManage to do that things, act as a certificate authority. Now this option will not be valid because vManage might not be trusted over the internet, and this traffic might be valid if you are only trying to access some of your own organization applications. So while accessing this application, you can decrypt the traffic and you can encrypt it using your vManage or using your own certificate authority, because that will be imported on the certificate authority will be trusted by the application and you will not get the certificate error. But whenever you're going to the internet, definitely it will give you the error until unless everyone is being trusted. Alright, so that's the concept of the certificate. You need to understand that one in order to configure before it. So let's go ahead and configure it now. If I click on create new and you see that configure the certificate authority, it will give me two options: configure your own certificate authority or configure vManage as the certificate authority. So I will select the set vManage as an intermediate CA so that I don't have to give or otherwise I will ask her to generate and issue the certificate. So now making vManage as a certificate authority to decrypt the traffic means it should be signed by a valid certificate authority. So I said that on the edge device, when the traffic comes in, it is going to decrypt and it is going to encrypt. So that means it is going to decrypt, and while encrypting, it is going to re-sign the certificate. So it's going to re-sign that traffic, assign the traffic with the new certificate, sign the new certificate. Now, in order to do that one, what we are saying that vManage should handle this once. Okay, so vManage will generate a CSR over here now. We will take the CSR and make sure that we get a certificate from the cisco.com. So hopefully you should be taking, I think, subordinate certificate authority certificate. So once you got the certificate, you will install it. After installing, it will be valid. Now your vManage will re-sign the certificates whenever your edge device wants it. It will re-sign that particular traffic certificate so that you don't get the error for that one. Okay. All right. So once you configure those all things, and after that you are able to create the policies. That's where now it will ask you further options. What will be the traffic match? You will match the traffic and you will decrypt it and you will re-sign it. So those are the different options. All right, so policy summary, we have already seen it. So I hope this was informative for you, and thank you. And one more thing I forgot to tell you, that external syslog server, if you have any external syslog server, you can provide it. Say that you have a syslog server on VPN maybe 30, and then you will provide the IP address, and the failure mode you will just keep it as open and close. Now this is very important because open and close refers to the, let me check, Cisco SD-wan, Cisco SD-wan, what is that? Failure mode. So where is that exact option? So it does refers to something, that the open and the close modes. So this modes refers to something open and close. So let me check it. Alright, so the failure mode means it's since we are installing the UTD engine. So that UTD engine is a snot process which is used in the next generation firewalls. That's the same snot process engine we are installing into the edge device in order to do the intrusion and the URL filtering. So failure mode represent, so if it is a fail open, so that means it will allow all access. If the snot process fails or that application UTD engine is down for some reason, if you say that fail open means all the traffic will be allowed without inspection or checking anything, still it will be allowed. If you say that it is fail close, this is where it will drop all traffic. So fail open, allowing all traffic, fail drop, dropping all the traffic. So you have to be careful in selecting this option according to your organizational requirements. So I hope this was informative for you, and thank you.